Alright, let's try to lock in a little bit here and see what's popping. So, I'm going to turn off my video capture for a second. Let's try to lock in a little bit here and see what's popping. I think we got everything set up now. Turn on. Oh, had the. Oh, nice, bro. Classic. Gotta pull it up on here, and then we should all be ready to go here. Okie dokie. Fuck, bro. There you go. So I can see live chat and everything. I accidentally put it on 4Ks at the beginning, so yeah. Anyway, let's just get into basics of FL. I'm still running FL20, so you know, I'm not gonna know all the new special shit. This is just for the basics. So yeah. I'm gonna start a new empty thing here. I'm gonna close all my stuff out. So I should probably plan this out a little bit. Alright, for start. Oh dang, where do I start? Okay, so over here in the corner here, you're gonna have a thing called, I haven't used it in forever, but they have their like, um, here it is, packs. So if you go to packs, FL when you first download it comes with these, just really basic EDM stuff, and there's some other stuff that's not really EDM either, but you can use those sounds. If you wanna like add your own sounds, like I got this folder here that's full of kits. It's got a lot of Cody's kits, some Nick Mira kits. Really like this one. Um, yeah, I think that one's around 40 bucks, but it's so worth it. I love every sound in this kit, but and it comes with some like bonus loops and shit. But anyway, if you go up to options up here at the corner, oh well, I guess you guys probably can't see that. Well, there's an option button up in the corner here, and then go to your file settings, and right here is like all your guys is like all the stuff over here basically you can control. Like I have my drum sounds, which is right here, and then I have my stash, which is just sounds that I make, and then like one shots, downloads, all that stuff. You basically just click the folder over here, go to whatever folder you want, click it, and hit select folder. But I'm not going to do that with that. And then that's how you would get sounds over here. Anyway, I just wanted to explain that because I know that can be really annoying sometimes when you first download and you don't have no idea how to do any of that. Um, and then scrolling through here is pretty simple, just normal stuff. But to like get a sound over here, which is going to be this is like your drum pad and where you're gonna make your melodies. This is where most of this stuff's gonna happen, where you're actually making something, and then here's kind of where you're gonna arrange it. And so we'll just drag in an 808. So now we have this sound here. For an 808, you always want to cut self because if you don't, Actually, here, I'll just show you guys what happens when you don't cut. You kind of get that bleed through, and you just really don't want that. So you'll cut it. It's got to sound way better. Um, and this is the piano roll too. So you got all your keys over here on the side. Um, Basically, just place down the note there, um, to whatever key you want. And there, if you don't know music theory or anything like that, if you actually here, if you go up here into the corner, there's this little orange triangle. Click on it. Go to View, Scale Highlighting, and then you can see your root note, and then you can pick what scale you want to go into, so major or minor. Usually I stick to minor natural or major. I don't really know what the other ones are for, but I don't really use them. Let's stick to F sharp for this. Um, so I'm just gonna make a super simple pattern here. We'll just really basic here. So there's. Yo, what's up, gnarly? Yo, does the mic sound better? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I don't have the setup like I normally have it, but I set up my mic through a new interface and put it through USB. So I might actually be able to do that video where I was gonna show like how to make a song and stuff. So I might actually be able to do that now. Pretty hyped. But anyway, um, so now we're in F sharp minor, I believe. Let's bring this up here. I don't know why I'm starting with drums. I'm not gonna. I'm glad I showed you guys that. That was a good like tutorial on the 808 there, and how to like use all that. But if you go here to this plus button right here, it'll open up all your plugins. FL comes with a lot of default plugins. For example, we'll use where is it? We'll just use FL keys. So it'll open up a VST, which is just like a virtual instrument, basically. And you can actually use your keyboard as a keyboard, or as a piano, I guess. And all you got to do is activate this right up here. Type in keyboard to piano keyboard. And you can right click it to change like the bass note. There's also a way to change it to where you can like make it play in only a certain scale. And for some reason my computer doesn't do that anymore. But usually you would just have to select minor natural. Oh wait, no, that's because I had the trial version before. And I just haven't. Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot. Okay. Anyway, you can do that if you have the new version. Um, but here, let's just lay down something simple. I'm not gonna try to make anything too complicated. I'm just trying to kind of make a tutorial, I guess, on how you would use FO. So all these notes in the back that are brighter, those are all in the scale of F sharp minor now. So I don't really have to worry about where I'm placing them. You can also go outside of a scale sometimes, but you know, when you first start, just try to stay in that scale. So we'll go up to A here. That perfect. I'm glad it sounds a little bit better. I set it up through the Scarlett, and I was actually running my Scarlett through a USB-C to a USB-C, and I think that's why there was so much latency. And now I just have the USB-C to regular USB, and I think that's why it runs way better now. So hopefully that'll work for the next stream, and we can get something cool going on that. So this is just a real basic pattern here. It's. I was trying to think of whether I wanted to do a more of a tutorial on just how to use FL, or also about kind of like chords and stuff too. But basically, this is a chord now, and you can sounds kind of simple, like a basic melody, but you can always move stuff around a little bit and just give it a little bit of character. And it just gives a nice little bounce to it, you know? Like I said, just gonna try to keep it simple for the sake of like a tutorial. Skip that to the next. And how I did that was I went up here, clicked the select button, selected all of them, and then you hit Control B, and that'll copy it over. And then you can also hit Control X to get rid of it. So we'll go back in here. And now I got this basic pattern here. But let's say that's kind of what I'm trying to do is like how to make your first beat kind of vibe. I'm not trying to go too complicated with it and stuff like that. So I'm happy with doing something like this. So let's say you want to add like some reverb, some kind of effects to it. We'd go over here and just put this to insert one or whatever insert you want to go to, and then right here it's going to say view mixer. You're just going to click that, and since we put it on insert one, this is going to be our insert one. So you can right click that and rename it so you can remember what you've put on what insert. So we'll just put that in as piano, and let's listen to it. Let's add some like reverb to it. No, actually, let's not add reverb. Um, Actually, before we go into that, this is going to be like your effects rack right here. They basically start up here. So let's say I have a reverb here, but then I put a delay here. My reverb is going to be on the sound first, and then the delay is going to be on top of the reverb, if that makes sense. So we're going to go here. And this is something really cool if you have FL. I absolutely love that FL comes with this. It is called Gross Beat. It's gonna take me forever to find it because I've been using Shaperbox, not gonna lie. But Gross Beat is great and will always be a pretty good plugin for. I've always used it. So let's put it on like a something like that, and then let's add a little bit of reverb onto it. I don't know, just kind of messing around and you know, there's no real rules to this kind of stuff. You know, you guys can do whatever you want. Um, you know, if you feel a vibe that's completely outside of key, but you think it sounds good, go for it. You know, like nothing really matters. These are just kind of, you know, things that I was taught at the beginning when I first started, and then eventually I just kind of found my own sound. So let's add like a little bit of delay to that. Try to give it like a different sound, I guess. And then after we add that, I might actually do a little ping pong. Just adds that little bit of like a texture to it. I don't know. This sounds pretty cool already. I'm not gonna lie. And then we'll just leave it at that for now, because I'm gonna go to kind of try to start on some drums here, and then, well, no, let's go into let's go into drums. So, like I showed you guys earlier, to install all your like, you know, drum packs and everything, just go to your drum pack, pick an 808 you like. Remember to cut sample so it doesn't okay, just had a brain fart. It's so they don't like go over each other. Yeah, you guys know what I mean. And then a basic rule of thumb, like I said, you don't always have to follow. The bass notes of your chord, so this is going to be our chord right here, and the bass note's just the first note, or the lowest note, sorry. And so you just want to place it in that key. And sometimes you can go out of key and it sounds good. Sometimes it doesn't. Just mess around with it, you know. Um, but this is just a basic rule of thumb. See, if we were to go outside a key, like let's say we go here, it just don't got that same vibe, you know? But sometimes I like to do something like this where I'll add like one 808 out of key. I don't know if that's gonna sound good. It doesn't sound the best, but it doesn't sound bad, you know? So we'll just put it back. down here's like your velocities too. Sorry guys, I kind of got sidetracked there. I've never really taught anybody anything, so I'm not I ain't no teacher savant kind of guy. I just know a little bit about FL. So your velocities here gonna make that 808 boom real hard. Sometimes you want it booming, sometimes you don't. Usually I have all my velocities booming all the way up, and then I'll just turn down the actual mixer. I don't know why I do that. It's just how I've always done it. And then for a high note like this, when you go up to like a something above like F, or I'd say anything above like C5, most of the time you just want to bring it down just a little bit because they got a lot more high end in them. Gets sound a little bit goofy if you have it all the way up. I guess for the spins it's not that bad. Like I said though, things don't always have to be exactly as the way I say that they should be. It's just these are just like the basic things. So now let's go to something else like a clap or a snare. Claps or snares can usually just be interchanged, or honestly, you don't really even ever need to use a clap or a snare. I use sound effects a lot for my claps and snares. That's why I love that 2000 kit that I was telling you guys about. It just comes with a lot of these weird sound effects. Like you could do like a shoot, let's take this. And this is usually where they place claps if you're in double time. So double time is basically anything above 120 BPM, I believe. And then once you go below that, you enter a half time. So this would be like a half time snare or basic snare pattern here, and it'd be on the 2 and the 4. And then your like a basic one for a double time would be on the 3 and the 7. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes people do like something like this. Just adds a little bit of a different bounce, but we'll keep it like this for now. And let's go into the sampler a little bit. Mess with the start time, bring this back. Take this out, down. And there it is. Now it sounds like a snare kind of. So you don't always need to just, stay inside of a box, use a snare, use a clap. You can use really whatever you want. And now let's layer that with a clap actually. So let's take um that's a little loud. That's fine. Now we got a unique sound on that nobody else is gonna have because we kind of crafted it ourselves. Not that this sounds great, but it's something to just have in the back of your mind that you can always do. And then let's go to hi-hats now. So hi-hats you can always do like the basic two-step, which I'll show you how to do that here. We'll just pick this hi-hat and then right click on hi-hat, hit fill each two-step, and it just gives you that basic bounce that you always get from trap music, I guess, or even a lot of music in general. They usually follow the two-step. And then you can go in here, which is the piano roll, which is where we also made the melodies. And then up here in this black bar, you can scroll up or down to zoom in on the piano roll. And then you can use this to scroll around. But let's say you want to add a little bit of snare rolls in here. You can go up here to the corner where there's this snap to grid option, and you can select 1/3 step, 1/4 step, just kind of whatever fits your vibe. And here, let's see how this sounds. So it just adds, some pizzazz in there. You don't always want to go overboard um, with like hi-hats, but sometimes you do. Like I said, it all just depends on what song you're making, and none of the things that I say are um, the end all be all. Uh, and I mean, there's like some tracks, most tracks you just need to know what you want to be the most prominent thing in your track. So if you're making a track where you really like the melody in it, make the melody louder, make it more prominent, make it, more part of it. If your melody's kind of more just like a, chill thing to be in the back, make it quieter and make your drums, punching through the mix. That's gonna sound great. You just kind of got a feel for it. That's a lot of music too. Like I know music theory kind of now because I've just been like doing this for so long. But thanks, gnarly. This is the first time I've ever taught anybody, so it's or not really taught anybody, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But basically like music theory is basically just knowing what sounds good. Like all these are in a thing because they sound good. So if you make something that sounds good, it sounds good. You know what I mean? You just got to go off feel. You could make something without even having your like piano roll highlighted, and it could be completely out of key, but if you think it sounds good and other people think it sounds good, then it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Don't stress it too much. Just hop in this thing and start messing around. Matter of fact, when I first made my first beat, I remember I had a pattern like this with my snare. It was actually really funny. Here. Like this. It was like that or something. It doesn't sound too bad, but I had a real goofy snare pattern going. Um Anyway, let's continue with the tutorial. Sorry, I kind of got off track there. And then let's say that you really like a part that you have in your hi-hats and you just want to repeat that. Just get rid of all the ones you got over here. Select your section at the top and then Control B. So it'll copy over what you have selected in red. And then, um, what else is there to show? Oh, velocity. So I showed you guys a little bit about velocity for the 808s. But if you want to add a little bit of something to your hi-hats or any of your drums, basically, you can, mess with the velocities. Just adds a little humanization to them. Really good for coming up with a unique bounce. I mean, if you want something unique, definitely mess around with velocities, panning. So down here, you can actually change what control. So here we go to pan. And if you pan it over here, it's going to be to your right. And if you pan it over here, it's going to be to the left. So let's actually do that for this here. We'll pan it to the right, and then over here we'll pan this to the left. It can add some good dynamics to it. It's just, always nice to have these tricks in the back of your head, because you'll never know when you're going to have to use them, or, when it would be a good time to use them, I guess. Uh, let's move to open hats. Open hats can really be placed wherever. Some people like to do it like this, like just leave them on the 808s. Some people like to do that, just like leave one at the beginning, and some people do this. I'm just kind of lay them wherever I feel like I should lay them. Like this one, I would probably do no, I'd just do this. I kind of like that the most, so that's probably what I would do here. As far as kicks go, some people like to also layer those on top of the 808. Not really as much anymore, because a lot of the 808 samples have a kick in front of them already. Not that one, but like that. That's already basically a kick. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason to be putting nothing else on top of that. But sometimes it adds some spice. You can just, yeah, that's not really a good example, but you can use it to spice things up, or you can just put it on top of your 808 if your 808's lacking some punch. And what else do we have? Now snare placements. We all did go through the goofy snare pattern phase, dude. When I first started, I did not know about the 3 and the 7 stuff or any of like the basic pattern stuff, so I was just doing like they were just going anywhere basically. I don't know. I have beat. I need to find it again and I'll send it in the Discord. But it was like, it was one of those old like basic Memphis trap beats, and I had my snare placement going absolutely stupid on that shit. Anyway, so snare, we'll just pick this one. Um, Snares can be placed anywhere, like I said, but this is also a basic place people put them. Um, that's a very filled pattern, but you could also do something like this here. Let's take this out, beat it up to 150. Sounds a little goofy, but you know, you can mess around with that stuff all you want and just figure out what you like. That was kind of more of like a jerk kind of drum thing there. Yeah. What else could I show you guys? Hmm. The audio here. Oh, I was gonna show you guys the templates. So, if you go up here to file, which you guys won't be able to see it because my face is there. Oh, how did I do this? I don't even remember how to. Wait. Yeah, so you can change your default template and also save templates. Um, I forget how to save templates though, I'm not gonna lie. Uh, hmm. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going though. Um, take that back down to 40 BPM or 140 BPM. And now on your, I should probably show you guys how to mix some stuff together, I guess. So, as far as mixing, I'm gonna have to pattern all my stuff out here. So here we have kind of our background snare sound, and over here we have our actual clap, and here is our hi-hat, and here's our 808, and then we also have our open hi-hat, which I had forgot to put on there. There it is. Sorry guys. And let me start it all back up. So for the piano, let's listen to this and see how it sounds. Now for your melodies, you always want to check to see if you got a lot of low end, like down here. I'd say below probably 200. Sometimes most of the time I low cut, but you can also just decrease the volume by doing like that. But most of the time, you're gonna want to cut. I usually cut like here and then just bring the band down, which this is an EQ. Basically just takes out low and high frequencies or mid frequencies out of your uh, audio that you have on that mixer track. And um, so we'll just give it a listen. I'll just bring that down a little bit. It just gives that 808 a little bit more room to breathe. This wasn't a really good example because there wasn't a lot of bass in this. But now let's see. We'll leave the piano there. And then for our clap, put it there. And then for our hi-hat, and now this kind of sounds a bit goofy right now. Solid slap, or wait, I don't. The soft clipper does not make it not. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. Gnarly Waves knows. Okay, for the templates, you have to save them to the template folder. There's a template folder. I made my templates forever ago, so I don't remember how to make them. But you basically, what you would do is, let's say every time you open your FL, you want a soft clipper on your master. I want my soft clipper on my master all the time. That's kind of, it's the main thing I always have on every one of my masters. It just keeps the volume from peaking over 0.0 dB, which I think everything past that sounds distorted or something. I don't know why we do that. I just do it basically. But like, let's say I want my FL to open like this every time. I would just go up here and hit save. And then you gotta go to your templates folder, find your templates folder, save it as an FLP to your templates folder, and then you'd go here, go to new from template, and your template should be here. I would have to go back and check out how to do that, but I also need to clean up my computer. I have a lot of files on here, and I'm not searching through all of them to find the templates folder. I have no idea where that folder's at. Um, and let's say you have a beat mixed, but it's just not quite hitting that soft clipper yet. As you can see, it's hitting just right below the 0.0 dB mark there. So we'll just open up a limiter here and just gain until you see that it's flipping through that green. And there you have it. We have a mixed beat. I'm mixing, or I'm streaming.
I got you a $10 PlayStation card for Siege Market, and I got me 100.
Damn, alright. Yo, that's kind of clutch. What you buying?
I really want to log on, dude. I've been waiting all day.
Okay. Let me finish this stream. I gotta finish up. I'm just basically doing like a learning stream. That's why I don't want to cut it off right now. I'll be done real soon though. Okay. I'm teaching how to finish up mixing and mastering and stuff, and then we'll be good. Okay. Here, shut that door real quick, and then we'll be on. Okay. Go, Troop. Go. Oh boy. Sorry about that, y'all. My brother came in here, bro. Got me a $10 PlayStation card for getting some stuff on Siege Marketplace. I finally helped them log on to Siege Marketplace, and oh my god, bro, he went out and bought $100 PlayStation card to spend on R6 coins. So yeah. Anyway, and facts. Shout out Fruity Soft Clipper. Honestly, best plugin in the whole entire thing. But I almost forgot to show how to lay out. So now we got like a good sounding beat. Or actually, let's add a counter too. Before we finish this up, we're gonna add a counter. So let's open up oh my. I want to use something that is from FL. So if you turn down the bass and the mids and boo bass, you can actually kind of have like a guitar sound, I guess you could say. So let's add that in there. I've never tried boo bass before. So a good rule of thumb, for me, at least when I first started off, I always kept my counters kind of in the same realm as what I like made before, but you can always just, if you have an idea for a phrase, kind of just sound it out. So I just sounded out this dun 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 dun, and then it's just got that little bit of a groove to it there, and then we'll just copy that over, and that's basically a counter. Music doesn't have to be some super overcomplicated thing, and this is a very, very simple thing. like a very simple beat that I put together. But you know, everybody starts somewhere, and this is how most people start. And so we'll put in guitar here. Let's say we want to a little bit of um, add a little bit of delay here too, but I want to lower it down. Lower the volume, lower that, and up the tone a little bit. Nah, we need kind of. I was thinking more this time. Not that time either. Maybe a bit faster. Da, 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 da. It's gotta be this. Yeah, it was. And then once we got all that out, we don't want all of these things playing the whole entire song. So now we're gonna get to the arrangement. So first, we're just gonna go over here and right click our pattern. So this is our pattern right here. And we're gonna split by channel. So now we have all of our things split up. So here is the guitar that we just did, the piano, our 808, our backup clap, our hi-hat, and our open hat. So then if you click on the top and then click shift and then click the bottom, it will select all of them for you. And you can just drag out and then all your stuff is there. So what I do to arrange is I usually click B, and then here you have 8 bars, I believe. Yeah. So it's 8 bars in double time. So this is going to be one section, and then this is going to be one section. Oh wait, I'm tripping out right now. Never mind. This is a section since we're in double time, and this is a section since we're in double time. So this is going to be our chorus right here. From 1 to 9 would be the chorus. The chorus would be split up into 2 sections. So let's get rid of the boo bass here and leave everything else in. And over here we'll leave everything. And then here let's take out the hi-hats and just leave the clap and the 808 there. Just to add a little bit of something different. And then we'll take this out. Keep that out and add that there. And then you can hit the select button, and if you go over to your track on the side where it says track 1, just select track 1 to track 7. Let's move it up here so we can make a little beginning section. Wait. Oh nah. I think I told y'all wrong again. Wait. So if we're in double time here, I'm confusing myself because now I'm trying to teach people and it's like confusing me. So it would actually be like this. Not. Okay, wait. How much would this be if we just double this? Okay. I just confused myself. I don't know. It doesn't matter how you arrange music, guys. I arrange it differently all the time. You could do it like this if you wanted and just have these three, and this could just be one section, one section, one section. Actually, we would put this over here though. Um, I don't know. I don't know why I just confused myself so much on the arrangement, but let's just get rid of all that. Basically, the way I usually see it. Let me just arrange like I'm normally arranging so I can make sure I'm doing this right. Oh, nah. If you make that mistake, I don't really know how to like go back from that. It just absolutely cooks me for a second. And then we'll just go over. Oh, okay. So I guess you can go up here and do it up there in the corner. And then yeah, so it is 8 bars. So it'd be like that. This would be the setup here. So we would get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. This makes sense, I think. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I should have thought this one out a little bit more, but I think this provides a little bitty help on stuff. Um, I hope it did at least. Um, I'm probably gonna do another tutorial and probably plan it out a little bit better where I'm answering more questions, try to get more people in here answering questions. But I thought this was a good start. We'll call this the really, really simple tutorial, and then I'll come out with another one next time where we get into more complicated things, and I'll make a more complex beat. This was maybe a little underwhelming for some people just starting out, but just go in there and try out whatever you can, and yeah. So you guys have a good day. I hope I was at least able to teach you guys a little bit of something. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.